How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Blue Shifting and welcome back to Mamiya. Last time, well, got pretty personal. Minamo's his situation is the most complex, I think, out of all of them. I mean, no one's is not like crazy complex, but fetch, man, it's something else here. So we're going to be trying to dive more into it. We're going to see if there's any resolution. I wonder if we'll be able to get to the end of this part. It feels like it's doable in two parts, but we have to see, because I think I took the last part a little slow, so we'll just have to find out. I'll feel it out. It's a little later than I was hoping to be getting to this recording, and so I also could just run out of steam just because I need sleep at some point, but that's okay. We're going to jump right into it. We're going to go enjoy this story, so hopefully you stick around. Thank you so much. I look forward to reading your comments, your likes, and all that stuff. That really means a lot to me, but most importantly, let's just share a good story together, so let's jump right in. Tojo? Yes. What's wrong? You don't look well. I'm okay. Sorry, what were we talking about? You know, that photo we took recently. It's funny as heck, look. A photo? Let me see. The photo on the smartphone presented to him. Haha. Showed a group of boys about his age, all wearing female clothing.
I wish it was easier to listen to myself.
What is this? Some upperclassmen made us do it as part of this punishment game. We even had to put on makeup. It was honestly pretty cute. They seemed really into it, too. Come on, look at those shittins and muscles. Oh, you finally smiled, Tojo. You look like kind of down in the dumps today. Everyone was so worried. I see. Thanks, guys. I got a good laugh out of this photo. Yeah, it's pretty funny how ridiculous they look. That's right. I made the freaking call. I don't know if it's accurate or not. I think Minato is Mina. Like, maybe if I'm right, it maybe seemed obvious to other people, but like it just hit me last time. Like, what if this whole time, like the clothes in his closet isn't just like some dalliance? What if he actually has a job? And what if he's like super popular? And that's part of why he kind of keeps downplaying and disregarding Mina. That'd be so interesting, wouldn't it? It'd be such an interesting twist if that's what's going on. But we'll have to see. So, anyway, thank you so much. Let's keep jumping further into it. Come on, you don't have to go that far. Dang, Tojo, you ain't holding back. He shared a big laugh with the rest of the group. His heart, however, was covered in cold sweat. He could feel it slowly freezing him to his core. Oh. What? Nothing. Oh, what am I even doing? He asked himself. It was as though his heart had flooded over. Last night's rain was piling up, making the waters rage. Don't I hate this river? Do I come here because I hate it? Would this be easier if it scolded me? Still, I'm dreading people finding out and hating me for it. And I come to you for words of comfort. You've made the right choice. You know the risk of being found out better than anyone else. As we all fear not being understood by others. Yeah. You're right. Minato. Mamiya skillfully planted his legs on the thin railing and extended his arms toward Tojo Minato. I love you. I want to embrace you. Mamiya. The water of the flowing river got louder and louder. I went too far yesterday. Well, as fan of Mina's, I had no choice but to say something. Even so, I have to apologize to Tojo Minato. Natsumi. Ah, Kikuchiryo! Have you seen Tojo Minato? Minato's... God, crap! He's not answering no matter how many times I call him. He wasn't at school or even at home. Where are you? It had begun to rain, and I could feel each droplet trickle down my cheeks. The scent of the rain gave me a bad feeling. Where could he be? Tojo Minato! I shouted when I saw him standing on the railing of the river, looking downward. Huh? That's dangerous! The rain almost pushed him off, but I embraced him before he could fall. Whew! Oh, Thank goodness I came in time. Tojo Minato didn't look at me. He was only looking at the river. The same river he supposedly hated. Tojo Minato. The river. What? The river's so loud and filthy. I finally understand why I hate it. It's like me. It's sedimented, filled with all kinds of water. Hey. Mixed things are filthy, aren't they? I wonder if he's not trans, but hermaphrodite. That's possible. Very rare, but it is a very much a legitimate thing. I'm sorry about yesterday. Oh, it's okay. I'm fine now, so let me go. What will happen if I do? Let's just get away from here for starters. You'll catch a cold if you stay too long. A cold? His white breath dispersed in the air. Let's just find a place with a roof. When I pulled him closer, I could feel his cold, hard shoulder bones against mine. Despite that, he still didn't look at me. His blued lips made my heart sting. Out of sheer worry, I ended up touching his cheek. Tojo. I couldn't feel his warmth through my gloves. I called out at him several times, but his black, glossy eyes never even looked at me. Let's go home. Where? Where can I even go at this point? Let's go back to your place. Together. The orchid withered. What? Sorry. Don't be. It's what flowers do. Hmm? I can't do this anymore. Tojo Minato? He silently took several deep, long breaths. He then looked right at me. I'll go get changed. You just wait there. Okay. I hope I don't catch a cold. Natsumi. Oh, Tojo. Freaking. Holy crap. That's freaking awesome. I mean, I know it's very delicate. It's a very touching situation. First of all, thrilled I actually caught on to it. That's really cool. Secondly, he's freaking got it nailed, man. God. Like, all seriousness, if I knew Tojo, if I knew Minato or Mina, I would be freaking impressed that he's got this whole job going and that he's so good at it. It's weird, but it wouldn't bother me. But again, I could see it being a problem if you had a crush on Mina, but you would struggle with that kind of understanding. But man, what a crate. Whoa! Huh? Why is Mina here? Natsumi. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Then there they stood, their face distorted with tears. Yet they looked at me with eyes that reflected a certain bravery. The person before me was both my idol and Tojo Minato at the same time. I see! Man, I had no idea you were Mina. It doesn't bother me at all, though. Natsumi? Oh man, it always feels great to have Mina speak my name. Natsumi, your tea is spilling. Huh? Your hands are shaking. It's like there's an earthquake around them. Oh. I'm sorry. It's okay. Let me wipe your clothes. Thank you. She used a towel to carefully wipe my chest. A pleasant scent reached my nose. Every time she moved, I felt my face heat up. Natsumi? Oh, don't mind me. Everybody confused? Well, that's what Natsume is. Well, I had no idea you were Mina. Huh? Huh? I thought you'd realized that a long time ago. And that you were only playing along. I had no idea. It never even crossed my mind. Okay, it's off. Thank you. The moment I said that, she jumped away. That actually made me somewhat sad. Still, I think it was only a matter of time. Huh? I think you would have seen right through me at some point. I'm not sure about that. Sorry. Why are you apologizing? Because I tricked you. Not just you, everyone. Oh, come on, you didn't. You're not going to hate me? I expected you to get mad or push me away. Well, it's kind of like I don't quite understand this yet. I recall Tojo Minato's story. He ended up breaking down because he couldn't maintain the balance between his heart and his surroundings. It was a tragedy caused by a lack of outlet. More than anything, I'm just relieved you're accepting yourself. You talk like you know everything about me. Man, hearing Mina talk in such a masculine tone was something. Why did you think that? Why do you think I'm accepting myself? For all you know, I could just be a vile narcissist who enjoys looking down on people. I know that's not true. I'm just happy. I truly am. I'm happy that you're free. Free? Mina's eyes changed. Yeah, I suppose this could be called freedom. If I could redo everything, I would have chosen not to take up this appearance. Well, why? His words came as a surprise. Didn't Tojo Minato's life end in tragedy because he was bottling everything up on the inside? The more time I spend as a maid, as Mina, the more aware I become of how different I am from others. It was fun at first. I could wear what I wanted and did my best to look cute. But I have school 5 times a week. I attend class, spend time after that as Mina, then repeated it all over again. As a student, I chatted with my classmates about the shows we watched, the magazines we read, the limited time menus we tried. As time went by, I began to wonder what I was even doing. The longer I wore a maid outfit, the more I worked as Mina, the more I laughed at her. The more painfully aware I became of the difference between me and my surroundings. If I knew it'd be like this, I never would have done this in the first place. If I hadn't become Mina, I would have never had to feel so crushed by guilt because of all the people that liked me. I regretted what I'd said. I really thought he'd find peace if he had an outlet outside of school. But that wasn't the problem. The root of his issue was the idea that he felt himself to be unlike everyone else. And the stronger the difference between him and his surroundings became, the worse the pain within him grew. I still have the phone. The phone he gave me on that day. I wanted to get rid of it. I wanted to close it off in his casket forever, along with other memories. That's why I found the idea of buying something with him so convenient. Throughout this month, both my selves would forget about Natsume. Why did he give me that phone? Did he find himself caught up in some incident? Was he seeking help? If I could have done anything back then, if I hadn't lost sight of his phone even for a second, would he have not died? I have many questions like that, but Natsume is no longer with us. I'll never atone for my sins. So at the very least, I wanted to be forgiven by being nice to you. That's about the gist of it, really. Mina. The way you call my name. You're so much like the real Natsume. Oh, that was rude of me, wasn't it? You're a different person after all. Mina. Mina, you have a mini live event coming up, don't you? Your blog says you'll dance to a new song. I'll be looking forward to it. Stop. Natsume, stop. Don't say that. Don't call me the same way he used to. Hina. If there's something you want to say to me, just say it. You must be full of questions, right? Mina, that is, Tojo Minato, took a deep breath and spent a good amount of time thinking. Why did he give me that phone? Did he find himself caught up in some incident? Was he seeking help? If I could have done anything back then, if I hadn't lost sight of his phone, even for a second, would he have not died? A great variety of words flashed through his mind. He thought about what he could ask to make the guilt go away. In the end, only one thing escaped his lips. Would you accept me as a girl? Of course. Tojo Minato. Mina cried her eyes out, ignoring the mass that she was making in her uniform. By the time her voice lost warmth, the rain had already let up. There was a large window in Tojo Minato's home. The light inside was off. You could see outside very clearly. The large yellow moon shone down on the cheeks of the youth next to me. We bathed in the moonlight. The light of the sun exposed too much, so this week, round outline was just perfect for us. Are you cold? Yeah. Now that you mention it, I am. Should I bring you something? Like a blanket? Over here. Come closer. Tojo tilted his head and invited me closer, so I went to sit next to him. Oh, he changed. Wonder why. Tojo? Within the pale blue light, Tojo Minato looked out of the distance through the window. What was reflected in those eyes of his? I couldn't begin to tell. Natsumi. What? Do you have any siblings? Not really. You don't either, right? Right. But I almost did. I'm not sure if they would have been older or younger than me, though. What do you mean? My mother once told me something, and I don't even know if it's true. But apparently I was supposed to be a twin. Tojo Minato went in on a low, disinterested tone. When I was still in my mother's womb, the doctor said there were 2 of us inside. However, one of them vanished in the early stages of the pregnancy. Reabsorption. That can happen when the embryo dies prematurely, or sometimes when they're in their like super fluid like states, they can actually like refuse back together, which is maybe what he thinks happened. A vanishing twin. What? A vanishing twin. That's what it's called, I think. I see. You're so knowledgeable. I heard it back when I was little, but I didn't give it much thought. Still, I sometimes wonder where the other one vanished. And from time to time, I think about what my twin would have been like. Isn't that a wonderful thing to think about, though? I mean, I might have been a twin. The twin vanished before it was clear whether it would be identical or fraternal, so I don't even know if they would have been like me. But what if my twin was a girl? Tojo Minato's tone suddenly changed. He sounded like he was on the verge of tears. I didn't look at him, though. It wouldn't have felt right. I keep wondering if there's a part of me that's dedicated to her, and that's why she ends up showing herself every now and then. Maybe this is what she wants? After saying all this in a single breath, he inhaled deeply. As for me, I maintained my silence. Look, I know the vanishing twin has nothing to do with the current me. I know it's not that simple, but even though I didn't give this whole thing much thought when I first learned about it, right now, I can't help but feel like it's like somehow connected to everything. Maybe it's the reason I'm the way I am? The reason why I'm different? I need a clear reason I can understand. And even if I know it's unrelated, I keep trying to explain that girl who's next to me back when I wasn't even myself yet. I think I've finally understood what he wants to do, as well as the nature of his pain. All you really wanted was approval. You wanted approval to see me as Natsumi and to act as Mina. Or perhaps you wanted approval from problems that go even deeper. You've always lived with the idea that you're doing something sinful, something you shouldn't do. I don't think you're doing anything bad. But since you couldn't forgive yourself, you wanted approval from someone else. Tojo Mina's hands began to tremble while still being wrapped around his knees. I wanted to place my hand on his to help him calm down, but in the end, I chose not to do so. There's no longer anyone to give you that their approval. That's why you wanted a clear-cut punishment. You wanted to be chained down by your atonement. I finally came to face him in the person he was. Tojo Minato had been looking at me all this time. I saw my reflection wandering in his moist gleam of the dual-colored eyes, along with the moon as it shone down on us. A face so twisted by desperation didn't suit him. I smiled, hoping he would do the same. Natsumi. Huh? Call me Natsumi. Say it the way you said it to him. That's your punishment. His lip began to tremble. In that case? I could tell from his tone that he was doing his best to differentiate between me and the Natsumi who died. I knew this would leave him thoroughly bewildered. After all, it would be like tethering a person's ghost to him. Minato. His shoulders trembled. He was clearly flustered by the way I addressed him, which made this the perfect punishment. Minato. I repeated his name to mask how much he had been trembling myself, and to make sure my words wouldn't get stuck in my throat from fear and getting rejected. Tojo Minato slowly looked up at me with his large round eyes, and he kept opening and closing his mouth, seemingly on the verge of saying something. We both waited for his voice to finally break the silence. Natsumi. I waited a few seconds to process his tone. Tojo Minato was afraid. I, on the other hand, was happy. That feels a lot more natural. I was beginning honest. His emerald grin eye told me that it was making him do something truly cruel. I refused to listen to them. Only sounds mattered to me now. After all, that was the punishment I had prepared for him. We stayed still like that for a while. The lights of the evening felt strangely gentle and warm. A chilling breeze snuck through the closed window, making the room somewhat cold. As a result, we drew closer to each other. Sorry, and I'm fully awake and paying attention. I'm just getting to that late tiredness. And huddled up as much as we could, almost as if we shared in each other's warmth. I don't mind sharing it with you. You can have my warmth. His voice lowered to a whisper. The words that left his lips felt like a spell that could make us melt into one. Upon glancing at the clock, I noticed that the shorthand was pointing at 4. When I had told Tojo, he said it was broken, which gave me a good chuckle. In the end, we never found out what time it was. But that was okay. You said something about mixed things being filthy, but I don't think that's the case. A great variety of things all becoming one is a truly beautiful thing, if you ask me. I guess you're right. Looks like we're a single creature all along, huh? A single creature. That seemed like the most fitting expression. We both realized that we had to be close enough to speak to each other with familiarity. Natsumi. Minato. Just our first names, nothing more. Are you sleepy? Yeah, a bit. I felt like it had taken a long time for us to get here. We took detours, were reserved and humble around each other, but we now finally stood at the starting line. Minato? He didn't respond. I chuckled to myself when I realized that he had fallen asleep. Minato. I looked up at the now moonless sky. I thought about how great it would be if one could convey their feelings with just a single well-chosen word. Huh? You'll continue working as Mina? Oh, yeah, that's the plan. Though Tojo Minato answered my question like it was the most obvious thing, which made me even more surprised. I've always thought you wanted to quit. I could never. The pay's good, and I have a ton of loyal fans like you. If I stopped now, it would be kind of rude to them, don't you think? Well, I appreciate the sentiment. Maids are as good as Mina certainly are 1 in a million. I know, right? Minato brought his face close to mine. His sparkling eyes were almost dazzling. I worked hard trying to find out how to hide my masculinity and be more feminine. I even learned how to apply makeup, and you wouldn't believe how many contact lenses I tried. Well, I didn't realize you were Mina, so now that I knew the truth, I could definitely pick up on the similarities. But at the end of the day, the two of them still felt like entirely different people to me. Don't underestimate layered makeup. Layered, huh? Anyway, I'm glad you still like Mina. Well, she's supposed to be my ideal girl. So it's only natural I'd like her. Her face is totally my type, too. You really do have superb taste. I guess we both fell for the same girl, huh? We sure did. I'm the type who welcomes fellow fans, just so you know. Guess I'm the same, then? Talk about complex relationship going here. Natsumi! Tojo Minato made a mischievous smile as he wrapped an arm around my shoulders. Is it just me, or is this the first time you've made that face? I'm reserving it for you. He tickled my chin with his fingers. Jeez, I'm not a cat. He might as well be one, though. I didn't see how. I could get mad too, you know. But you can't resist this face, can you? I quickly brought my hand to his mouth and looked at me like a lust puppy. Like taking candy from a baby. Ever since that night, Tojo Minato had been treating me like his other self. He had always been the type to go overboard for the sake of others. He always focused on keeping the group entertained and peaceful. He placed great value in maintaining the harmony of his surroundings, which was why he'd kept his own opinions suppressed. And so, he had no reason to hold back against his other self. In other words, me. The fact that this was just him opening up made me somewhat happy. Would you look at that? You two seem awfully close. Well, that's because we are, right? I guess so. Wow, you're almost like siblings. Huh? Or more like twins? They're nothing alike, dude. You're right. Twins. Tojo Minato seemed positively delighted with that comparison. So which one of us do you think would be the older brother? Minato. Tojo. Tojo? What? What's with the unanimous agreement? Just so you know, all aware, I'm actually older than him. You're the type people want to spoil. That doesn't make me particularly happy, you know. He poked my cheek when I started pouting. Yeah, you should be more honest with yourself. During the day, he always had the upper hand over me. But when night fell, Tojo Minato would seek my warmth and wanted us to hug each other in silence. Come closer. Okay. I can hear your heartbeat. Really? It keeps pumping blood through your veins. Listen to mine, too. I crouched and brought my face closer to his chest. Can you hear it? Not really. Are you sure? Oh, wait. I think I just did. This kind of tickles. I wish the sounds of our hearts could synchronize. I wish they would melt and become one. After saying that, he gingerly pulled my head into his embrace. The gentleness of his hand slowly brushing my hair made me close my eyes and pour more strength into my embrace. I was given the impression this wasn't about romance, but I'm changing my mind. I'm totally on this ship. Twins, huh? If we really were twins, then we had to be the most twisted pair on Earth. We were nothing alike. Perhaps I could have been more familiar with him if I was still Natsumi. And if he were Mina, maybe the two would have become a better pair than we were now. 2 faces, 4 faces. We had different sides to us, and they constantly flipped like pieces in a game of Reversey. We treasured this moment when our colors had finally become one from the bottom of our hearts. If we continued being this happy, Mamiya would have no reason to ever appear before him. Or so I had thought. A concert? Yeah, I got tickets from my parents. Oh, and they came back yesterday? Yeah, it's been ages since we had dinner together. The bags under Dad's eyes were really something else. He flashed a smile. He got 2 tickets from someone at work, but neither of them can afford to take the day off, so in the end they just asked me to go instead. Oh? Yeah, you also listen to classical music? Not often, but sometimes but someone I know used to be really into it. Why not go with him then? Oh? Is that jealousy I'm detecting? No! It's fine, don't worry. It's you I want to go with. I see. I suppose I could go then. But do try to wear something other than a trench coat, okay? I'll have to think about it. Wow. Oh, wow indeed! See, I answered your request. Let's go, Natsumi. Tojo Minato extended his hand toward me. He was as considerate as always. The place had a tall, gaudy decorated ceiling. The people around us were filled with expectations of a good performance, as well as a decent amount of tension. I sat down, crossed my legs, and pored over the program. Was the person who liked classical music your ex-girlfriend or something? Hey, don't make me laugh at a place like this. You're the one who made them sound like a big deal, though. Look, you've got it all wrong. It was just an acquaintance. We kind of grew apart over the years. Were you too close? Yeah, very. They taught me plenty of things, and showered me with kindness and joy. I see. What about you? Have you ever dated anyone? Wait, what did I have to do with this? I just wanted to know. Oh look, the show's about to start. Hey, Natsumi. I waved my hand as if pushing his words away. A few moments later, the lights in the room were beginning to dim. The curtain rose, revealing an orchestra, then the lights. Huh? The lit stage was barren. Not just the stage, there was no audience either. Even Tojo Minato was gone. Huh? What's going on? Here he is. This is a concert for you alone. I looked up high in the stage where the voice came from. There I saw a conductor bathed in spotlights. Oh, that's menacing. Mamiya. Overcome by anger, I stood up. That's bad. That's bad manners. Huh. He swung his baton down, forcing me to sit. Huh? Before I realized it, Mamiya was right in front of me, pointing his baton at my face. You know nothing about Minato. What do you mean? I know him. I know the melodies he adores, the rhythms that soothe his heart, and the gradients that make him feel good. I'm more fit to be his side than anyone else. There's nothing you can do for him. That's not true. I can save him. You can't. Then what about the others? What will happen to the others while you deal with Minato? I'd get closer to them, too. At the same time? How long would that take? Do you think it would be easy? And what will happen to Minato while you're busy with them? The baton touched my nose. Before I knew it, his legs were on the chair in front of me, and he was facing me from up close. I can do it. Only for Minato. I am here. I am here. On the same battlefield he fights on. I'll stand by him. I'll protect him and fight with him. You have no shape. You couldn't protect him even if you tried. I can fight too. I'll support Tojo Minato without your help, Mamiya. I'll support Tojo Minato without your help, Mamiya. That's my role, as his soul twin. If you're that confident, then show me. Show me the ending you desire. Show me the happy life Minato will lead. Interesting. He's got a little meta this time. Sumi. Natsumi. Huh. I opened my eyes and saw Tojo Minato looking at me with a confused expression. The performance is over. Huh? Oh. Well, I suppose I can understand enjoying it so much you'd fall asleep, but still. Huh? Where's Mamiya? What? Oh, never mind. You must be tired. I'm definitely taking you to a rock festival next time. Sure, absolutely. I want to go somewhere again. Still wearing our fancy outfits, we ended up going to Tojo Minato's place like it was the given. We went underground on the way and got some dessert and champagne. Let's make this an especially luxurious day. We walked on the dark sidewalk, holding treasures in each hand. There were plain houses on the side and cheap city lights above us. We felt like we were the only high-class people here, and we were all giddy about it. I wanted to flaunt. I wanted people to know just how wonderful we were. Good morning. Tojo Minato got up from the sofa. He went to sleep on it the moment we arrived and didn't much care that it made his clothes all wrinkled. Where's the cake? In the fridge. Did you eat some already? I saved it. Within the Ashen room, there was only a red fruit waiting for us. We picked up a spoon and began eating the raspberry mousse cake. I loved the way it tasted, kind of like it kind of exploded all over my mouth. It's almost morning. How long was I asleep? I'm not sure. The clock never shows the right time. Still half asleep, Tojo Minato walked over to the speakers. If morning comes, we may as well put on some bright music. That was a good idea. He picked out a CD and put it on. It was a Japanese hit that used to be popular a few years back. He took out the champagne from its bag and looked at the bottle with a stern expression. This would be the second champagne I drink this month. You don't drink it much? Not really. Only about once a year, I'd say. Wow, I feel like I'm such an adult now. He removed the cork like he was opening a Christmas present and gently poured it in. Morning champagne. This should help us wake up. Yeah. We shared a chuckle. After clinking our glasses together, we both took a sip. A cold breeze blew in from between the curtains. I opened the window, making the crisp winter air waft through the stale room. Aww. We looked out into the city and took another sip. The morning glow illuminated our glasses. Its purple gradient seemed to melt into the fluid. It feels like we're almost drinking winter itself. His voice was now a whisper, and I found myself captivated by his drowsy expression. The cassette tape. Do you always have it on you? Oh, yeah. What's on it? Just something I recorded with someone. A recording? Did you sing something? Yeah, it was a song a person created. We sang it together. Even now I can remember it like it happened yesterday. We had so much fun. I'd love to hear it myself. Well, the tape has been stretched. He sounded embarrassed, chuckling. Record something over it then. What? I mean, you can't listen to it anymore, right? So let's record something over it. But the tape's stretched. You can listen to it again if you record something new. I see, but... I looked straight at him. He was smiling, but I could tell his darting gaze that he was desperately looking for a way to deflect my suggestion. He looked both pitiable and adorable. Minato. Let's overwrite the cassette tape. I made a point to use his name. He was struggling to muster up an answer, and then our eyes met. He was considering it. He was about to choose between his memories and the present. However, I already knew his answer. You better sing really well then. I knew all too well that he'd end up picking me. It was almost like I could see into his mind. Minato. Did my magic reach you? Did my love grant you peace? On long, restless nights, gently chatting? And I'll cast a spell on you, the kind that won't be broken when the clock hits midnight. I'll cast a special biddy boo spell. I love you now and forever. Fourth Friday. Tokyo, during the year in which the world was prophesied to end. The fourth Friday of the final month of the year. With Natsumi's memorial mass over, all the participants went to visit his grave. Tojo Minato was standing in front of the church, his raven locks dancing in the wind. His expression was stern and sullen. Minato? Natsumi? When he looked up at me with palpable worry in his eyes, I gently wrapped an arm around his shoulders. It's okay. Natsumi won't hate you no matter what you give him. Yeah. You're right. I've come this far. I'll take the responsibility for my choice and see Natsumi off with a smile. That's the most I could do for him. Yeah. He was no longer the Tojo Minato who had tried to make up to Natsumi for a sin he didn't commit. Standing before me now was a strong, beautiful person who looked ahead while biting down on his trembling lips. Let's go visit Natsumi's grave. Okay. The public cemetery was in an open area some distance away from the church. Various graves were lined up in the clouded area, sprinkled in green. We stopped in front of one. It was just like all the others, lacking any distinguishing features. And it belonged to Natsumi Soichiro. In other words, me. A strong gust of wind blew past us. Even so, Tojo Minato stood before the grave, grasping both his hands in a refined manner. What he chose to give Natsumi was a flower. A flower? Are you surprised? I thought you were going to give him his phone. That's what you said you'd do. Yeah, but I changed my mind. I chose to keep his phone with me. Although, even on my way here, I was still feeling kind of conflicted about it. But if I got rid of it, the guilt I feel for Natsumi would come back. And Mina would likely vanish too. That's why I'm not giving it away to the phone to anyone, not even to you. I need it so I can continue being myself. I see. And besides, I've always wanted to do this. To give Natsumi a flower that would suit him. The idea's been in the back of my mind ever since I got that yellow bouquet. After saying that, Tojo Minato placed a bouquet of yellow gerbers on Natsumi's casket. It's not really like me to do this. I mean, flowers are such a cliché thing to offer, you know? Still, I think it's okay. Yeah, they look wonderful. This is a gift based on your own tastes. Something you and you alone picked. The shape, the scent, the color, they all suit him perfectly. It's certainly a better fit for him than anything another person could ever hope to choose. Come on, you're just about being overdramatic. It's how I genuinely feel, though. I'm sure he'll be glad. We looked at Natsumi's grave for a good while before finally walking off. Let's go then, Minato. Next time I'll pick flowers to suit you. Oh, like you did for Natsumi? Of course, Natsumi and you are different people after all. Yeah, that's true. I had no idea what awaited us beyond the hill, beyond the end of this story. However, it's fine. I'm sure you'll draw up a wonderful world. I believe in you. What are you even talking about? Come on, you're falling behind. Hey, wait up. Let us go then, and find out what awaits us beyond that light. Beautiful. Minato Tojo sighed. That was beautiful. That was the best ending so far. Are you sure? Yes, Mia. Are you absolutely sure this is the kind of ending made for your friend Happy? Alright. You may just enjoy bathing in your happiness without knowing the truth, you bystander. We'll figure it out. Oh, there we go. One more to go, and then I'm guessing we have a true end to unlock. So I'm really excited to be able to do that, but thank you so much for joining me. Oh, my heart is so warm and happy with this one. Man, that felt good. And I'm so glad I actually called it. I mean, it wasn't like it was subtle. I'm pretty sure most people could have seen it coming a mile away. But it's really fun to get that organic, like, flash of insight where you're like, oh, holy crap, what if it's this? And it being right, it's just such a fun part of the trip. I love that. It's such a good feeling. I really love the Minato story. Like I said, I don't know if Minato's my favorite character, but his story is my favorite so far. So that was really a joy. Thank you so much for joining me on this adventure. Thank you for being a part of the channel, especially to the patrons, again, who helped me pick this game out. It means the world to me. We actually have a new patron, like 801 T-Dog, I believe is what he went by as his screen name. Thank you so much for being a believer in the channel. I appreciate the support. It means the world to me. And if you and any of the other patrons have any questions, make sure to ask them. I do patron casts once a month. I think I missed a month somewhere, but you know, that's in the past. We're going to move forward. So look forward to that. And then anybody else who wants to support the channel in a direct way, that's a great way to do it. You get access to a patron cast, which is always fun. But don't feel like you need to. Just watching the video is more than enough support. So thank you so much for everything you're willing to do. It means the world to me. I can't wait to read your comments in this one. There's a lot of people who went quiet on the last episode. I'm guessing it was because they didn't want to accidentally spoil anything. So I'd love to know what your thoughts were about this journey. And then join me next week when we dive back in to see the final arc of the second half of this game, and then I'm guessing we'll have some kind of culmination arc for the grand finale. Hopefully you'll be able to join me for that. I appreciate your time here, and until next video watching me, if see me in next, I'll see you there.